Welcome back to What Arty Noobs with General Disturbance. This is the M48A5 Patton tank. It's a tier 10 American medium tank. It's located on the north spawn of Malinovka, and it's under the command of pitro123 of the VANDA clan. Game on! Well, this is the much upgraded version of the Patton, otherwise known as the Patton, because it was actually fatter and bigger than the T110E5. It's actually an upgraded version of the original Patton, which was actually given the same basic equipment as the M60, or most of the same equipment, not quite all of it. It's got a 105mm main gun capable of 390 alpha. Oh, we just got spotted. And it's capable of penetrating 268mm of armor. Ow, that was about chap 155-55. Okay, so we know what the enemy Arty's firing at us, but they've also got a 212A as well. And we can see this STB-1's coming in. He's going to seize the ramp. But he's lost a lot of hit points in the process, and he might find himself evicted from there eventually. Okay, so this is basically a jack of all trades medium tank, master of none. It's got the M68 gun, not the the other guns that could be on it, like the L1A1. It actually served during the 1990s and was put into storage. Oh, nice shot there on the Centurion Action 10. So yes, it just basically improved the Patton tank from the 1970s all the way up to the 1980s. Okay, that STB-1's still there though. It has excellent DPM, shell velocity. The shell velocity is incredibly fast, standard APCR, and it's got a shell velocity of 1,478, which means point and shoot. You don't need to worry about leading the target. You just aim at the target and it'll normally get him. Oh, look! And yeah, there he goes. The STB-1 actually gets wiped out by the Sharp Future 4 in the end. And oh, now that tortoise made a very unwise decision there to cross the field, and he's taking fire from a lot of people. Yeah, not a wise move. He's getting hammered. Yes, the DPM's actually quite high, 2,922.9 hit points per minute. The reload time by the book is 8.01 seconds. You can see here that Pitro's got it down to 6.61. And here comes that tortoise again. And he's getting hammered through the side, you see, which is where the weak area is. Tortoises shouldn't really expose their sides if they can help it, because that's what happens in the end. They go down. Well, Pitro's now got his first kill. Oh, enemy tank up on the hill. Well, he didn't penetrate the armor, which means he probably hit some spaced armor, which is why he didn't actually contact the actual armor of the tank. Which is a pity, really, because he was actually showing us his engine deck, and that might have been a nice little hit. There were 2,570 of these upgraded to the M60, and I dare say that a number of them are probably still in storage and could actually be put back into service if necessary for a certain little war. Although at the moment they seem to be quite content to just get more Abrams tanks upgraded and put those into service instead. I wouldn't be surprised if a number of these actually ended up in the National Guards of many of the states, but in the storage of the National Guard, because I know a certain National Guard officer, or he is actually former now because he has actually retired, that's the Chieftain, and he is a colonel in the National Guard, and he has the latest Abrams version under his command, but obviously he's now technically retired, but he's a reserve officer, so to speak, as far as I'm aware. Always nice to know that you've got somebody you can ask questions about, and he's actually one of the people who actually supplies Perun with information on tanks, although up to the amount of obviously his security clearance that he's allowed to give Perun. But yes, he's been very useful for Perun to actually discuss tanks in general. And I don't know if you do watch his PowerPoint presentations, but they are very, very useful for explaining lots of things that you might have had questions about but didn't know about what was going on in that war. So, just under 2,000 hit points of damage so far. Pitro's been sending in replays to us for a very long time. Years now, actually. And I think we've still got a few in storage which I haven't actually got done yet. Pretty sure. And some of them, they're top tier games, tier 10 games. He's blind firing at the moment. There are a number of enemy tanks up there. And there's a superconch. Oh yes, that looks like a lower plate hit there. So some of those shells may have actually contacted. And he might actually have a considerable score. We'll have to wait and see. He's running low on ammo though. The thing is though, this tank does have a lot of ammo to start with. 57 rounds. And he's keeping in reserve his heat rounds at the moment for later on when it becomes absolutely necessary that he has to bring down enemy tanks. Making a nice little nest for himself as well, which is kind of dangerous sometimes. In fact, I've noticed this happen on other games where players have actually been making nests for themselves, especially Arty players. That's a nice pen. Low roll though. But they've been making nests for themselves, and by making those nests, they've actually been making it obvious. And another kill. And they've been making it obvious where they are. So if you are an Arty and you lay down a lot of trees around you to provide you with cover so that the enemy can't actually see where you are, you might actually be pointing out to the enemy Arty where you actually are located or which vicinity you're in. And therefore they can lob shells in to where all those trees are down, as just happened there. A shell just came in, not an Arty round, but a tank round, hit the ground nearby where he was. So effectively, it's giving away your position. Quickly turn the turret round to get the Skoda, and he got an accurate hit. He does have good gun handling, this tank. Really good gun handling. It's one of the top 10 tanks, I would say. An M60 or an M48A5, if you want to have an all-round tank, this is one of the ones to actually get. Also has very good turret armor. This is egg-shaped turret. It's an eggshell type design, where even the hull has got that familiar T110E5 egg hull, where it's able to deflect rounds. It's also got a very large hit point pool, and you can see that Pitro hasn't even lost a single hit point so far of the 2,000 he started with. And it won't continue like that. He's obviously going to lose some. Eventually, you just trade hit points for hit points, but you try to keep them as long as you can. Top speed isn't incredible. It's only 45 kilometers an hour. That's fairly slow when you think of tanks like that Leopard over there. And that Leopard's probably going to aim back down the line of flight and see if he can hit something. Pops his turret up, and he gets a ricochet. Now would be a good time to change position. I think that Leopard is going to use that line of sight to... Oh, and he got hit. And it's a high roll for 412. Makes him a one-shot. So STB is just between us and the Leopard at the moment. The STB-1's trying to stay away from fire, but there's an Arty round. Just stunned the STB. I suppose the one bad thing about it is that it does have such a large turret and poor camo, which makes it fairly easy to spot. And of course it doesn't have a very high top speed, which I mentioned. The armor's not so great either. It's kind of ineffective, and it's got over long range. It can be actually inaccurate. short range, it's just point and click, and away you go. Now, we've lost the STB-1. The Leopard is the next one that's going to see us where we are. I'm not sure what he's aiming at there, but he's actually blowing ammo away by firing at the ground. I think he may have been trying to knock the tree down, though. Yes, it may have been that's what he was trying to do. Here comes the... Oh, it's a hedge bomb. Point and shoot. Yeah, close range. In fact, he's into the inlet now. And we'll take him out the game. There you go. That's a nice kill. That's the third one. A Skoda T50 is coming in. It's about to be loaded. He's gone. We didn't get him, though, because that's the 907's job. And 430 coming in rather fast. Stop suddenly, but that doesn't stop us. But we've lost the 907. He did get the 907 with one shot, and now I think he is heading towards us because he knows where we are. He knows the general vicinity, so he's coming towards us. He's just trying to locate us. In fact, I think the Leopard also knows where we are, but thank goodness we do have that point and click. Looks like the Leopard was in the cap area, and he's actually deserted the cap, and now he's coming north. Here he comes. Hello. Bye-bye. And that's 4 kills. Oh, TNH coming in. One shot. And he's gone. 5 kills. Could be on for a Top Gun. You may have noticed that we're one against quite a few now. Yeah, he's on a Kolobanov. And he's been on a Kolobanov for a little while now. And he's bouncing rounds from a Super Conk who's trying to get at us, but he's also getting wiped out bit by bit, and we are starting to lose hit points now, but we're now using the heat rounds to get absolutely certain that we can get kills. And there's another one. That's the Top Gun. So we could be on for Radleys. There's 4 enemies out there, and we've got 3 minutes to go. Unfortunately, the Arty knows where we are as well. That is really going to make life difficult for the next few minutes. Because not only do the tanks know where we are, the Arty do. So we might have to desert this position. Ow! That was the 212, and that was a 203mm round. And another one's just fired at us, but it hits the ground ahead of us. I kind of get the feeling that the last few enemy tanks, the Super Conk and the Object 430, are actually trying on purpose to avoid us. Because they know that if we get one shot, they're out the game just like that. So they just want to let the Arty whittle us down bit by bit. And there's another hit, but it's only stunned us. You notice our reload time goes up to 9.08 when we get stunned. From the 6.61 it was before. And there's the 2-minute warning. We've also got 22 rounds. We've also got our first aid kit and our repair kit on cooldown. Luckily, oh, that hurt. That was into the tracks, though. And here he comes. Now, can we get the shot in? Hello. He's gone. Okay, so now there's only one enemy tank left, and it's the Super Conk. Then it's the Arty. The unfortunate thing is the Arty's still firing in our direction, and ow! Again, we lose some hit points and get stunned. And now we're moving. Now, where did that Super Conk go? He can't be too far away. And because we've moved forward now, we're out of the range. Oh, there we go. There we go. Lower plate. Oh, we didn't get him. That hit the tracks. And now he did get a shot on us. Can we get the lower plate? Yes. So now we're off to the races, because now we've got to try and find the enemy Arty, because we can't cap out. There's not enough time. Now, he's actually maneuvering at the moment to avoid getting stomped on by an enemy Arty. We don't want to get really spotted. Oh, there is one of them. It's the 212. Oh, we didn't hit him. That's a heavy tank, and of course, he misses us, but he still stunned us with that shot. So we need to get a hit. Well, we do get a hit, but unfortunately, the Batchat does as well. He splashes us, only for 5, but we need to get the kill on that 212. Yes, point and click. He's out the game. There's only one enemy left. It's the Batchat 155.55 with 5 seconds left on the clock. I think we're all going for a quick bathe because there's no way this can end except in a draw. Well, that was a brilliant defense by pitro123 of the VANDA clan in the M48A5 Patton. In fact, he not only got an ace tanker out of that game, he also got his second mark of excellence on that one as well as quite a few medals. In fact, I failed to mention that he did get the Radley Waters when he took out the Super Conch, because at the time it was a case of who was going to hit him next. He got a fire for effect for doing more damage than the hit points to his own vehicle, a bruiser medal for getting at least 5 critical hits, he got 13, got a duelist for taking down 2 tanks who damaged him, a shellproof for blocking more damage than the hit points to his own vehicle, he got the Radley Waters for getting at least 8 kills, he could have got his 10th, because there was only one enemy left, and that one enemy stood between him, a Paul's medal, and a Kolobanov as well. Yes, it would have been a Kolobanov because he stood alone against at least 6, maybe more actually, during that battle. On top of which he got a Top Gun for getting at least 6 kills and a High Caliber for dealing the most damage in that game overall. And it was a fight to the death on a particular piece of turf that the enemy wanted to take, and even the Artys were just piling the shells in, but he stood his ground and he managed to succeed and stay alive. But it ended in a draw. Oh dear. Well, let's have a look at team score. Highest damage in the game, 7,023 hit points. The next highest was the Leopard 1 on the enemy team with 5,048, followed by the Centurion Action 10, who managed 4,335. So he definitely did get a lot of damage. He also managed to get the highest number of kills, 9 kills. 4 kills went to the Object 430, which again goes to show, as I've said all along, the Object 430U is one of the best one of the top medium tanks in the game. It is a tier 10 Soviet, but it's more like a heavy tank than a medium tank in many ways. It's that heavium, isn't it? It's the tank with a lot of power. In second place, or third place, I should say, joint third place, is the Heshbarn and the Skoda T50. They've both managed 2 kills. And on Pitro's team, all the rest only managed 1 kill between them each, except those who didn't get any kills at all. And when it came to base XP, well, yes, Pitro, because of course the amount of damage he did in that game, 863 went to him. The second highest was the Sharfuture 4 on the enemy team for 699. And the third highest, well, that was the Viz 55 on his own team with 637. He fired 41 rounds, so he did get through quite a lot of ammunition, but he had plenty spare for the Batchat if he could find him. And I reckon that Batchat was probably over the other side of the battlefield. The 212A did do the right thing to try and get as close as he could to Pitro during the last stages of the game to see if he could actually get an accurate shot at close range. 32 direct hits on the enemy, 23 of those penetrated. So a lot of shells he did fire, they hit the target, but they just wouldn't go through. And I think those were some of the ones he was shooting up the hill. 7,023 hit points altogether, of which 3,411 were at more than 300 meters. So about half and half on the damage. Half long range, half close range. He received 8 hits from the enemy, 2 of which actually penetrated, 6 non-penetrations, those are the ones hit the tracks, and 11 that came in by way of splash from the Arty, raining down like it's raining men, hallelujah. Well, no, I'm just trying to mimic the song, don't take anything from that. 1 enemy vehicle spotted, 11 enemy vehicles damaged, 9 killed, and he got 402 hit points of damage assistance. Now, on a free-to-play account, he actually made a loss of 71,093 credits. But you can accept that for the fact that he did have to pay full price for consumables, and he did have a rather large bill when it came to premium rounds. He also managed to take away 1,363 experience points out of that one as well. And he did get the achievements awards on both sides because, of course, he did manage to get a huge number of medals for in a drawn or lost game. Well, this was a drawn game, wasn't it? But it was quite a battle. I think you would agree. Anyone who can stand up for that length of time and go the whole distance all on his own Well, it wasn't the whole distance, but to stand up against that assault on him, where his position was known and the enemy was just raining shells onto him. Yeah, that takes some defense. That really does take a lot of nerve and skill. So very well done to Pitro. Sad that you missed out on the collar band off and the Pools medal, but it certainly shows that you are a very, very talented player to stay alive so long in that battle. Hope you enjoyed this replay. If you did, please give this video a like. Do subscribe to our channel. Leave a little comment down below because it feeds the algorithm. And thank you for watching.